Good evening, everyone. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided by sending such notice to the Asbury Park Press, the Middletown Patch, and the Middletown Township Public School District website, and the posting of such notice at the August T. Minor Administrative Offices and each elementary, middle, and secondary school in the district. Roll call.
Mrs. Caminiti? Here. Mrs. Farley? Here. Mr. Fitzgerald?
Here.
Mrs. Minimis?
Here.
Mrs. Skolasky? Here. Mr. Tulloch?
Here.
Mrs. Wright? Here. Mrs. Tobacco? Here. Mr.
Here. And now I need a resolution to go into exec session to speak about HIB, personnel matters, and legal update. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? See you in a little while.
One.
Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to start this evening with our high school North speaker, Paige.
Hi, my name is Paige Payton, and I am a junior at Middletown High School North. Our football team won their first outright division championship since 1983 and completed the regular season 8-0. They will host a home playoff game this Friday night at 7 p.m. for Steiner High School. Campaigns have ended and the votes are in. Congratulations are in order to Jason Woods for being voted in as North Student Government Vice President. Special thanks to senior Chelsea Baxter and Jason Woods, who did an amazing job running their campaigns, and each will play an important role in the Middletown High School North student government. Middletown High School North choir members hosted open night choir on Thursday, October 10th for a home takeout game against RBR. Choir members from Thorns, Bayshore, and Thompson were invited to Middletown High School North for pizza, meet and greet, and music practice, followed by singing the national anthem at the home game. All state honors choir members from Middletown High School North began rehearsals on Sunday, October 13th for the 2024-2025 season, with performances at November NJEA Convention in Atlantic City and the NJEAC in Newark, New Jersey, as well as the New Jersey Music Educators Convention in February 2025. Mr. Isherwood is assisting and chaperoning at all state choir rehearsals, as well as assisting and teaching and accompanying students as needed. The choir members completed the annual mum sale for fundraisers and sold 800 mums to the school and family members. Fundraising is ongoing to support the music program and their performance trip to Disney in February over President's Day weekend. The North Marching Band has a successful competition season this month, receiving higher scores, improving each week. The Lions Roar, High School North's online student newspaper, includes relevant campus-wide stories and highlights outstanding achievements throughout our community. High School North's Praise Referral Program celebrates students' positive actions and contributions across the campus. Staff members identify students who demonstrate kindness, compassion, respect, and leadership throughout the learning community. So far this month, the following individuals have been recognized for upholding and modeling these ideals: Destiny Billingsley, Blake Eilingworth, Mark Conway, Mike Deeney, and Gabby Davina. High School North continues to be a community that believes in recognizing students for their achievements. Head of the Pride is our monthly student recognition program that highlights outstanding performances across the campus. Students are nominated based on academic performance, character, and effort. Our Head of the Pride recipients from September were 9th grade Anthony Grosso and Hope Yetman, 10th grade Jalen McLean and Chloe Trino, 11th grade Julie Fiorello and Ryan Hangman, and 12th Sean Heaton. All the Head of the Prize students will be rewarded with a breakfast hosted by the administrative team at the end of semester 1, and will have their photograph displayed outside the main office. The homecoming bonfire, which also features the recognition of fall athletes in the stadium, is scheduled for Tuesday, November 26th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Our annual Thanksgiving football pep rally is set for Wednesday, November 25th, in preparation for the traditional and festive North vs. South game. Rehearsals for Little Women, our fall play, are continuing, and we look forward to this highly anticipated production. Its performance schedule is Friday, November 22nd and Saturday, November 23rd at 7 p.m. On October 21st, over 550 Middletown High School North 10th and 11th graders took the PSAT. Thank you.
Thank you, Paige. To the south, Sophia Castle.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sophia Castone, and I'm a 12th grader at Middletown High School South. To start, South's Middle States visit was a success. A team from Middle States spent the week visiting South, interviewing staff and students chosen and selected randomly, and had many positive things to say in their report. Mr. Esposito formed a captain's council where representatives from each club meet to discuss how to improve the student experience at Middletown High School South through our various clubs and activities. Currently, the Captain's Council is assisting with promoting the different clubs and activities at MHSS to the freshman class. On October 15th, Mrs. Higgins, South's HIV specialist, presented to the PFA meeting for parents who found her presentation very informative. Congratulations to the Lady Eagles cross-country team for being named Monmouth County champs. The SATs were administered on October 21st for all 10th and 11th graders. Our civic leaders did a fantastic job creating skits for the freshman class. Thank you to Mr. Lightbody for organizing this. Congrats to Mid-South Gymnastics. Out of 10 teams at the short conference, they placed second with a high score of 110.225. Competing among 103 gymnasts, our team placed in the top 10 for each event and all around. Congratulations also to the girls who competed at the novice meet. Mrs. Smith, Ms. Storiello, and the rest of the physical education department are hosting a battle of the bands tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in the cafeteria, featuring a backing band and a costume contest. The girls soccer team will host a youth soccer clinic tomorrow from 4 to 5:45 p.m. for girls in kindergarten through 8th grade. They get a chance to meet girls from the MHSS soccer program, and bond over soccer will also building skill. The student council is holding our homecoming dance on Thursday, November 26th in the cafeteria. Senior council members will be selling nothing but cakes vouchers throughout November and will begin an Instagram feature titled Senior Council Spotlight Saturday, where they will spotlight a senior on their Instagram account every Saturday. Yearbook Club just released forms for senior superlatives, senior quotes, baby photos, sibling photos, and first aid kindergarten photos. So that form will close on November 26th. The Italian Honor Society is selling wreaths until November 1st, offering 3 options: Balsam Fir, Tasca, or Voyager. Each is a 25-inch fresh wreath delivered between November 17th and 23rd. The French Honor Society is selling Gertrude Hoff chocolate bars to fundraise for the Honor Society and possible upcoming trips. Yesterday, the STEM Pathway Program hosted a guest speaker, Drew Scott, an assistant director of nursing at Red Bank Rehabilitation and Healing. College visits to South have been very successful, with many students connecting with admissions officers from colleges nationwide by signing up through Naviance. Middletown South's Eagles Helping the Community and Middletown Helps Its Own are partnering for a Thanksgiving food drive. Each homeowner will receive a collection box for non-perishable Thanksgiving items, wrapped breakfast foods, canned meals, seafood items, and soups. Donations are due by November 13th, and the homeroom with the most items will win a donut party. Lastly, the Middletown High School South academic team is hosting a fundraiser at the Panera in Middletown on November 14th from 4 to 8 p.m. 20% of proceeds will go to the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. I'm now going to turn to Dr. Carrigan for his presentation for the NJS escalators.
Good evening, everyone. Back for another round of test results. This is our second presentation this year on our results as a district. I previously spoke about our high school graduation assessment results, but we got our NJSLA results, which are given for students in grades 3 through 8 and select high school subjects as well at the end of August. And those reports have since been mailed home by mid-September. So tonight I'm going to give a very high-level overview, executive summary of our results as a district, banded by subject and grade level. We will post the full presentation on our district website under curriculum and instruction, so you can check out additional tables and information on the way. So I'll first begin with science. Students take the science NJSLA in grades 5, 8, and 11, and each of those tests are banded for 3 grade levels. So students taking science 5 are responsible for science for grades 3, 4, and 5. Grade 8 is 6, 7, 8. Grade 11 is 9, 10, 11. Some highlights for our district: we outperformed state averages across the board. In grade 5, 33% of our 5th graders reached the highest levels of proficiency compared to the state average of 27% in the same area. For grade 8, we were at 29% compared to the state average of 19%. And for grade 11, we were at 32% compared to the state average of 28%. If we look at the lower end of things across the board, we had significantly lower percentages of students in the below proficient category compared to state averages. For ELA grades 3 through 5, the district outperformed state average in the percentage of students meeting or exceeding expectations. Those are the green and dark green parts on the high end. You can see up here grades 3 through 5. In each case, we surpassed the state average anywhere from about 10%, 12%, down to about 5%. So we were happy about that across the board. And then also as a district on the low end of things, our not meeting expectations rates were much lower than the state averages. You can see the state percentages of students not meeting expectations were in the double digits, and in most cases, we were in the low single digits. The same holds true for math as well. The district outperformed the state average in the percentage of students meeting or exceeding expectations across all 3 elementary grade levels. We surpassed the average by 10% in grade 3, by 19% in grade 4, and by 15% in grade 5. And then similarly, on the lower end of things, our not yet meeting expectation rate as a district was in the low single digits across all 3 grades and in the double digits at the state level. ELA 6 through 8 hot on bullets. So we did a really good job in ELA grades 6 through 8. 60% of our 6th graders met or exceeded expectations compared to state's 53%. For grade 7, also similar, 63% versus 54%. And for grade 8, 60% of our 8th graders met or exceeded compared to the state's 53%. We especially had a large number of students exceeding expectations in the 7th grade, that level 5 category. That was a notable achievement there. And then same thing with the not yet meeting expectations level, we were way below that compared to the state. And just in general, looking across all 3 middle schools, 60% of students met or exceeded expectations in each grade level. For math 6 through 8, the same can be said. Across all 3 grade levels, our students outperformed state average in meeting or exceeding expectations again. In grade 6, we exceeded it by 7%. In grade 7, we exceeded it by 16%, and in grade 8, we exceeded it by 15%. And again, recurring theme across the bottom, our rates of students not meeting expectations were much lower than state averages again. High school is where it gets a little weird. We have the ELA 9 test. We had 66% of 9th graders meeting or exceeding expectations on that, compared to the state's 57%. Algebra 1 is a course that's offered in the high school and in the middle school, so I separated out what that looked like compared to state average. So for our high school students, we had 58% meeting or exceeding expectations compared to the state average of 40%. And then for our middle school 8th graders who are taking algebra early and in an honors class, you can see we had really high results there with 99, 98, and 97% of students meeting or exceeding expectations. For our high school geometry course, as you know, we resequenced math a couple years ago and have geometry happening before algebra 1. That move has done us well for the NJSLA. We have 69% of students meeting or exceeding expectations in geometry, while the state average is 49%. And both high schools had the same passing rate on that, 69% meeting or exceeding. And again, same thing on the low end with our numbers for not yet meeting expectations much lower than the state's average. And this last slide, I just put up for fun. I like scatter plots, and mine's the best fit. I'm probably a minority in the room on that. But the district did purchase iReady last year, and that's part of our instructional program. We do iReady benchmarking. We use it for personalized learning. And I was just curious to see if the students' progress on iReady throughout the course of the year, especially their spring diagnostic that they take at the end, if it correlated with their performance on the NJSLA. I just took grade 5 as one example, but the scatter plots pretty much look the same all the way across the board. When you see all the dots like that, kind of gelled around a line really tightly, that shows that the work the students are doing in iReady and the progress they're getting is pretty indicative of how they're actually going to do on NJSLA. So we were really pleased to see that across the board as well, that the work that they're doing in our schools and on iReady also matches the outcomes they're getting on the NJSLA. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kerrigan. I'm going to have Ms. Dr. Young come up and speak about the SSDS and HIB grade self-assessment report for 23-24.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight I'll be presenting on the SSDS and HIB self-assessment scores for the 23-24 school year. It's important to note at the outset of this presentation that there are 2 reporting periods. So tonight I'm reporting on both reporting periods for last school year, the 23-24 school year. In the spring, I'll present again on the information for the first period of this school year, which will be September to January. So the SSDS is the Student Safety Data System. It is part of the New Jersey DOE homeroom that requires districts to report out on certain types of incidents that are code of conduct violations and result in out-of-school suspensions. So you can see we have the numbers listed here for the different incident categories for the 23-24 school year in the far right column. And then we also included the 22-23 school year just as a point of comparison. And you can see that the numbers for the different incident types fluctuate year to year. Also of note on this slide is the two bottom incident categories, other incidents and HIB alleged, are not calculated in the total numbers for the numbers reported for SSDS incidents. Also tonight, we'll be presenting out on the HIB self-assessment scores. So the HIB self-assessment scores are determined by the building, school safety, and climate teams. Each building has a team that meets regularly. They come together and they go over these different core elements, and the team assesses the building on each of these elements. So the teams at the building level are made up of the principal, the anti-bullying specialist, staff members, and parent representatives. And they go through each of these core elements listed. On each core element, the team comes up with a grade for the school. They can be graded from a 0 of not meeting any expectations in the requirement to a 3 where they're exceeding the requirements. It's important to note that the maximum score that a school can receive is a 78. And these are the self-assessment scores for last school year that were determined this fall by the school safety and climate teams per building. So you can see each of our buildings scored within the 70s range. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Moving to our committee reports. Everybody settled. We're going to start curriculum instruction. Mrs. Farley, take your comments.
I think we're stuff. A few quick things, the reminder about the Parent University series that's going on. There's a lot of great topics, and those are all available on our website. We are going to have an iReady family session over Zoom in February 11th. So it's a while away, but calendars. That'll be after the second iReady diagnostic, and that'll be with iReady staff. So it's going to be geared towards helping families understand how to read the results and kind of what to do with them, how to work with them with your children's teachers and all that. The cognitive abilities test is administered to 2nd and 5th grade students across the district, and those results should be coming home this week via US mail. So check your mailboxes. Middle states, I know it was already mentioned, I'm sure it'll be hit on again, but South did earn middle states accreditation, which is very exciting, and North's assessment is underway as we speak, and we expect the same for North. I think that just about does it.
Great, thank you, Ms. Farley. Moving to student services, Mr. Paul.
Yes, thank you. We also met on last Thursday, the 24th. The highlights for me to share in this meeting, 4 things, 3 of which are some really exciting trainings that happen for our different levels of staff in the district. One was a workshop for all secondary special education teachers on more effectively and consistently developing an acronym PLAAFPs, which are present levels of academic achievement and functional performance, which is an important component of IEPs. The emphasis being on focusing on factual, objective information and avoiding any subjective or opinion-based assessments that could affect what that score really should be, what that assessment should be. So that was a workshop for secondary special ed teachers. We also had the district's district-wide reading development teacher, who's our sort of in-house expert in Gordon Gillingham and multisensory literacy, provided a training to all or to K through 5 speech and occupational therapists, along with the ESL teachers, providing them with training to help strengthen their skill sets that are used in those push-in services in the classroom. And the third training I'll mention was that all K through 5 teachers received the training by the New Jersey Coalition for Inclusive Education on inclusion in the physical education world. So modifications and other ways to foster students' participation in PE in the special education realm as well. And then the last announcement is the Echo Cafe, which is Bayshore's pre-vocational project that works with the autism program there. It's a cafe. They have a newly purchased cash register that they use, and it's open for business for staff and other folks to purchase coffee and things like that, baked goods. So very exciting for the Bayshore community with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tully. Moving on to finance, Ms. Curry.
Finance Committee met on October 9th. The main topics of the meeting were an update on the district's new health insurance broker, looking at the first 3 months of 24-25 and talking about some strategies to look at to improve the district's services for either the remainder of this year or next year, depending on what the timing would be. So we're going to look at a few things and regroup on that and make more information. We also talked about doing an enrollment projection. We have not done a full update in 4 to 5 years, and being that the district is starting its strategic planning process, it's a useful tool to have to see what the enrollments are projected to be over the next 5 years. So we're going to get started on that and should have the report in time to use for the strategic planning process. And that was really the main points of the meeting. Insurance discussion with the lot.
Moving to facilities, Mrs. Miggins.
Mrs. Doherty has that.
So the Facilities Committee also met on October 9th. Mr. Nassar, our Director of Facilities, and I updated the committee on various ongoing projects around the district. At the time, we had said that the high school north track work had begun the previous week and will continue, but I can update that today and say they are basically done. So we are through that process. We are also still working on the Lincoff Annex. We have plans that are going to be submitted to the NJDOE. We also are progressing on mechanical and structural plans. The work will be progressing throughout the year. The Harmony, at the time of the meeting, Harmony Playground work was nearing completion. That has also been completed at this point. We are going to be, actually, there's a couple of items on the agenda tonight regarding the River Plaza Playground. We are going to be accepting a donation of equipment from their PTA, and we also are going to be purchasing the components for the playground using the grant that we received, the local recreation grant, and that is also on the agenda for the board to approve as well. We also continue to talk about utilizing our master facilities plan and budget that we had done in the upcoming strategic planning process. So that is an ongoing discussion, and that was the main topics of that.
Great, thank you so much. Moving to co-curricular, Ms. Caminiti, I believe Ms. Kirkpatrick.
Yes.
Good evening. The co-curricular committee met on October 15th. Several topics were addressed. Big State Sports is a streaming network that streams high school sports. They are currently working with the Shore Conference, and they're going to be streaming all of the Shore Conference championship games this year. They're also going to be streaming our Thanksgiving Day game, and there will be live commentary with that game as well. Information about the Thanksgiving Day game should be coming out shortly within the next week or so, as the game is coming up quickly. The frequency and tracking of co-curricular club meetings was discussed, as was the process for starting a new club, and the absence of permission slips to join a club at the high school level. The district will be partnering with all-in athletes in order to provide our high school students who play a sport with access to an emotional fitness consultant. The consultant will support the emotional needs of our athletes. And finally, a local team from the Women's National Football Conference held a combine at Middletown South's turf field earlier in the month. They facilitated a flag football clinic as well. The organization is exploring the possibility of using our fields for 3 WNFC games in the spring. That's it.
Right, thank you, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Moving on to Mr. Technology, Mr. Fitzgerald, which I think is going to stay with Mr. Kirkpatrick. Ms. Doherty.
Actually,
Ms. Doherty, I'm sorry.
I'm going to.
You got it.
So our committee met along with the co-curricular committee on October 15th. Mr. Siliak, our network administrator, and I updated the committee on some of the 24-25 technology project updates that we have that were in our budget for this year. This year, this summer, we worked on migrating to the Limelight Student Safety Platform. We have 4 modules that make that up. Our school manager filter, monitor class-wise, which allows teachers visibility of what's going on in their class, and also we'll have parental controls that will be rolling out next month. We also migrated to SysCloud, which is a new cloud backup service that includes cybersecurity features to better protect our data. We also migrated to a platform called One-to-One as our IT help desk and inventory solution. So that was actually something that our summer interns helped with, inventorying our hardware and software over the summer. Another project that was in our budget was a consolidation of elementary camera service for our security cameras. So we are currently working on completing that. That we will have fewer servers located in each high school for better efficiency and redundancy. We also were looking forward, starting to look forward to our 25-26 expected technology projects. There's a few things we're looking at, as I just mentioned, elementary camera servers. We're looking to do the same thing to migrate to fewer servers for the cameras at the secondary school level, the middle and high schools, and also looking at a more robust security managed detection and response solution. So those are a couple of things we mentioned in the committee and that we're looking at for this year's budget. And that was our meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, now we open the microphone for public comment. If you have any comment that you make on agenda items only, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one coming forward, I'm going to close the public comment portion and move on. Okay, we have a proclamation, National Custodian Workers Recognition Day. Be it resolved, the Middletown Township Public Education Group hereby proclaim October 2nd as National Custodial Workers Day in Middletown Township Public Schools. We have National Principals Month. Be it resolved that Middletown Township Public Board of Education hereby recognize October 24th as National Principals Month and urge all Middletown students, parents, teachers, and school district leaders to join them in expressing appreciation for the outstanding work of the elementary, middle, and high school principals throughout the district. And we move to the reports. I need a motion to approve. Oh, sorry. The Code of Ethics. School boards. Amy, do you want to do that? Or
Yes, on an annual basis, we get certification or acknowledgement from each board member, acknowledging that we've received a copy of the Code of Ethics and have reviewed that. I have received most of your acknowledgements, so just a reminder that I will need the rest of them. But this is according to code, and each board member has read and become familiar with the Code of Ethics and then signed acknowledgement. So that's, you don't need to vote on that. Just recognize that you do that on.
I signed it and gave it to her. Sound good?
Thank you.
Moving on to the superintendent's report.
Great, thank you. First off, I just want to remind everybody that we are going to be kicking off our strategic planning for our next 5-year strategic plan. Our first meeting with our committee of stakeholder volunteers will be on November 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. and that will be held here in the Media Center at High School North. Also a reminder that all community members have access to our stakeholder survey. I am going to put that in my October update, which will be coming out Friday again. So that way, if you have not had the opportunity to voice your opinion on things that should be included in our next 5-year strategic plan, this is certainly the opportunity to do that. That information will be shared with that voluntary committee team in order to have the information necessary to be able to move forward and prioritize some of the areas that the community is expressing as important in these next, 5 years of our Middletown school functioning. Congratulations again to the High School North football team on capturing the first division title since 1983. This is an absolute tremendous accomplishment. They are undefeated, knock on wood, so I don't want to jinx anybody. We wish you the best of luck as they take that undefeated record into the state tournament. The game is on Friday night, so we are hoping that they have a victory and continue along in the state tournament. Congratulations to High School South, as Ms. Cascone had mentioned, on their recent Middle States accreditation. After undergoing the governing body's rigorous 17-month process, the Middle States team then comes in and spends 3 days experiencing kind of a day in the life of High School South and learning about what the high school experience has to offer in our buildings. To earn the accreditation, a team of high school teachers and administrators complete a self-study, and then that culminates with that on-site review by the Middle States team. The Middle States process requires schools to demonstrate that it has met a defined set of criteria set on high-level research-based performance standards. It also provides the opportunity for the school to chart a strategic and realistic course for continuous improvement. This accreditation is good for 7 years. So once you're accredited, you maintain that status till you go through the reaccreditation process. This week, Middletown High School North is undergoing the same process, and their team of independent evaluators from the Middle States group has come in, and they will be giving us their final report on Thursday. But we are extremely confident that this will be the same outcome that High School South has. And we're very proud of both high schools because they are both fantastic places for our students to receive a really well-rounded education. And certainly Middle States coming in as an independent evaluator and stamping their approval on it speaks volumes about what we offer here. Just to share, again, I sent it out in my mid-October update, but we will be providing a progress report for students in 4th and 5th grade for their language arts and mathematics grades. We are doing this year because this is the first time in quite a long time that students in 4th and 5th grade will receive a numerical average for their trimester score. We felt it was really important in absence of an open grade book right now for parents to view as like what we do at the secondary level. We still felt it was important that parents had some perspective on what that average where that average stands before the trimester expires. So parents will have access to an interim progress report on November 2nd through the Genesis parent portal. We're trying to create Genesis or maintain Genesis as the landing spot for you to get access to lots of information. So staying in line with that theory, parents will go to the parent portal, and under the assessment tab, they'll be able to access their students' current averages in math and literacy. We will be blasting instructions home. It will also be in my update on Friday with a set of screenshots with how parents can access that information. Similar to that, elementary parent-teacher conferences will be held in January. As you may recall, we amended our school calendar this year to eliminate the half days in December that used to serve as early release for conferences. These conferences will now be in January, and we are maintaining a different structure. So I am going to send home information in that update, which will also share the grade level and building assignments, because we are conducting these conferences throughout the month of January. So it's really important that parents and guardians take a look at when their child's grade level and building are scheduled for conferences, and just pencil that on your calendar. And then a sign up will be pushed out through Genesis in early December. But for now, just marking those dates on your calendar will be important. January 22nd will be the night conferences for every single building, regardless of when your building's daytime conferences are. But that information will all be shared on the schedule that'll be sent out. Couple more things, bear with me. It's been a busy month. As you know, we've been having our stakeholder engagement groups, which has been the evolution of our PIC committee or our parent information committee. They've been very well received. really great conversations with many parents across the district on a variety of topics. But the one that I want to highlight tonight was our special education forum, where we talked about increasing awareness for a variety of disabilities that students may possess. And, you know, we feel that knowledge is power, and empowering our students with knowledge about disabilities is really important in building a climate of inclusion. So, you know, in trying to create this consistently and spread this message across the district, we are going to be bringing in a speaker who will help create awareness around individuals with autism. Tim Rower, he's a 22-year-old young man with autism who travels around. He's local, he's from New Jersey. He travels around and he speaks about his school experience with autism. He has been to 2 of our schools already in previous years and was extremely well received. And his message is really relatable, and the kids connect with him because he's real and authentic. But it does, in my opinion, and the opinion of the groups that we've been meeting with, helps to spread this awareness, and it destigmatizes students who, you know, may have differences than themselves, and it does stimulate a climate of inclusion. So we felt what better way to do this than to bring in someone who our kids can relate to across the district to hear his message. So he will be coming to do a lot of assemblies for us throughout the year. Most of them will happen in April for Autism Awareness Month. That's when his calendar fills up pretty quickly, but we've taken a lot of those dates, and we are going to be supporting every single building and getting him in to talk to our students across the board, K to 12. So we're really excited for that. Just again, to piggyback, our Thanksgiving game will be televised. We are going to have a broadcast. It is one of the only still existing Thanksgiving Day games in the state of New Jersey. So, and it's quite the event. So we want our folks at home who may not be able to travel to the game or for a variety of reasons to be able to experience the event, because it is truly a community event that I know the town has a lot of pride in. So we felt that this was a great way to kind of extend that opportunity to anyone who might not be able to come in person. Because who knows how cold it'll be, right? Just one reminder that schools will be closed for fall break beginning on Monday, November 4th and ending on November 8th. Students return to school on Monday, November 11th. And thank you all again for your continued support. We appreciate it greatly.
Thank you, Dr. Ruffalo. Okay, moving on to approval of the meeting minutes. I need a motion to approve 10A through C.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Need a motion to approve Board of Education consent agenda 11A through C.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Need a motion to approve business office consent agenda 12A through H and J. I is being tabled today.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstains, abstentions? I need a motion to approve recommendation of superintendent of school consent agenda 13A through J. J is, we're voting on 1 through 9 and 12 through 20 right now.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I had a discussion, but I just want to make it that I'm voting yes on the Hibbs only because they're all unfounded.
Got it, yes. Okay, I need a motion to approve personnel agenda 10.
So moved. Second.
Amy, can I get a roll call?
Mrs. Caminetti?
Yes.
Mrs. Farley?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mrs. Minuti?
Yes,
Mrs. Malasky?
Yes.
Mr. Tull?
Yes.
Mrs. Wright?
Yes.
Mrs. Tobacco? Yes. Mr. Capone?
Yes, and congratulations, Mrs. Granger. Okay, the motion to approve number 11.
So moved.
Amy, can I get a roll call on number 11?
Mrs. Caminiti,
Yes.
Mrs. Farley.
Yeah.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mrs. Minuis.
Yes.
Mrs. Skolasky.
Yes.
Mr. Toll. Mrs. Wright.
Yes.
Mrs. Tobacco. Yes. Mr. Conley.
Yes, and congratulations, Mr. Spitzberg. Heading to old business. Anyone have any old business they'd like to discuss? Moving on to new business. Does anybody have any new business they'd like to discuss? Okay, before we go to public comment, Ryan or Megan, anything you'd like to say? You can think about it and come back, whatever you like.
I would just like to briefly mention that the Middletown High School Student Government is now working on our Salute to Service project for November, where we basically raise awareness and express our gratitude for veterans who are residents of Middletown, and we do that in social media. And we have a Salute to Service project in the hallway that will be working on. Praise the Lord.
Awesome.
Incredible.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Megan, anything? Good. All right. Now moving to public comment. If you'd like to make a comment, please step forward, state your name, address for the record. You have 3 minutes. I'll give you a heads up in about 10 seconds.
I wasn't planning on talking. I'm Erin Niklinski. I live on 6 Kenwood Drive. We came here tonight because I'm part of the PTA at New Monmouth School, and we, as a board, raised $31,000 for a shade structure. And I emailed you earlier regarding, and you had said possibly New Monmouth was going to be considered for a grant for playground equipment. And you had mentioned, Amy, today that River Plaza was granted a grant. And I just want to make sure, plead our case and how desperate need New Monmouth is for a new playground. We combined with Port Monmouth in 2020, as everybody knows, we have over 500 students. We have an autism program. We had 2 students recently with disabilities that just joined our school this year, which I had emailed you about a few weeks ago. Our playground equipment is old, it's broken, and it's a little disappointing when we hear other schools who don't need it as much as ours are getting these grants. And I know you said there was a budget cut and we haven't heard whether or not we're going to get it, but I'm pleading our case because we are in desperate need for this for our students. So I invite anybody to come to our playground and see what we are, when we talk about it, our students need it. So that's really all I wanted to say.
I'm just gonna answer something, maybe I'll and send it over to Amy, but so the grants that we have been giving out has been, I think the River Plaza one was last year. And Harmony was, I'm sorry, River Plaza was this year, and Harmony was 2 years ago. That's just came to fruition this year and we completed this year. So when that grant program opens up again, you're on the list for that grant program, but we have to wait for it. I don't understand anything about budget cuts, but just understand that the grant program is what we wait to open up, and then from there we apply for the
If
application.
it's a budget cut, you said was cut, I think I read in my email, like 5%. So, or so, I think overall you had said, so you were hopeful we would get the grant, but it wasn't.
Right, based on the criteria to get that grant, probably is what I was thinking. Yes.
So, but as speaking as a member of the school, our students need it. I don't think anybody realizes how poor our playground is. And like I said, we now recently have 2 children in wheelchairs and we have nothing for them. We are not accessible for them. Our handicapped swing just broke. We have a ticket in for to fix. And as a board, we could raise so much money, but everybody knows this playground equipment costs a lot of money. That $31,000 for the shade structure would maybe buy a small swing set if we went out to purchase it ourselves. So just pleading my case.
I just want to add to what Mr. Capone said. These are grants that are offered by the state on an annual basis. So we've applied, for a few of those, as we mentioned, Harmony, River Plaza. We had already discussed that we would be considering New Monmouth when the grant application opens up. It's not open to, we can't apply right now. They don't normally open it up until December, January timeframe. And then we don't find out if it's awarded until the spring. So there really isn't anything else we can do at this point, except wait for them to open up. I don't know if you might have been, I know that they've put out that they've reduced the amount that's available for these grants, and maybe that's where the budget cut came in. It's not our. The state said.
I didn't say you had said overall it was a.
Without having the numbers in front of me, I believe in previous years that the the pool of money for the whole state. This includes not only schools, but municipalities. So it's a competitive grant process. So we're competing with all of these other entities to get the money. But I believe that the pool was formerly about 25 million, and I think this year it's gonna be down to 20 million. So there's still money out there, but it is less than what it had been before.
I just don't know how it's determined which schools are in need of it. Like, I just feel like,
We had already discussed, putting New Monmouth in consideration for that, yes. So, and just so you know how the grants are awarded, they're looked at as on a community basis. So what you need to do in your grant application is build a case that these are areas that serve the community at large, not just the school, which, we can make a case for with school playgrounds, but I just wanted to let you know that what that grant is all about and we've normally put in for the maximum amount, 100,000. We have never received that. They give every I don't know too many places that get the full amount. So for River Plaza, we received 67,000. Harmony was 69. So just so you know how it's been, we may end up getting less if they cut the pool this year, but we'll certainly, when that comes out, we can certainly be on it.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Would anyone else wish to make a comment?
Here, safety, just real quickly, I wanted to just extend my best wishes to someone who probably has the most thankless job in the district, Barbara Vining, for all her years of service. She never hears from the community other than to complain when transportation goes awry, and I've been one of those to call complain. So I just wanted to thank her for her years and well.
Would anyone else wish to make public comment? Seeing no one stepping forward, I wish to move to close the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions. Have a great night, everyone.